This episode is brought to you by Netflix. So Netflix is basically Santa this year. 2 NFL games on Christmas Day, streaming live. At 1 p.m. Eastern, it's Cowboys, Commanders. Then at 4:30, you've got Lions, Vikings. Midwest football, playoff stakes, and probably some snow. Watching holiday football is a tradition the whole family can enjoy. Open some gifts, grab some food, settle in, and watch NFL Live on Netflix this Christmas Day.
IO screen's fuzzing out. All right, let's run that back. Welcome back to Social Media Derby, everyone. For those of you watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment and share if you can. We got a jam-packed squad today for the recap of game week 7. Reese has just made it just in time to chat Chelsea. Khem's appeared from the shadows for once to actually be on the pod to take the smoke.
And he's making bad noise, eating noodles out of his lap like a caveman. Bro. Can you mute yourself, please? Let an intro the thing, bro. What's wrong with the man?
Oh man, I was on a streak with my intros as well, without swearing and lagging, and these guys. Come on, bro. But yeah, for those of you listening on Spotify, Apple, or any of the podcasting platforms, please follow, give us a 5-star review. And as usual, views expressed in the pod are just jokes, entertainment purposes, and do not reflect the opinions of us, really, unless football related. Yeah, we got a great episode. Like I just mentioned before, Khem was mashing down his pot noodle. We've got a lot of chat through game week 7. Chelsea beating Liverpool, 3 L's in a row in a week. Van Dijk's going to get some smoke on the pod. We've been chatting a lot about it in the group chat, and someone's been very sensitive and got their knickers in a twist. So, yeah, long day for you today, Khem. And then we'll also chat Arsenal's win against West Ham, top of the table, and United getting a rare dub against Sunderland, 2-0. Yeah, it's rare for me. Me and Nash are going to be happy on this pod, at least before we talk about what Jim Ratcliffe said today. But yeah, how's the squad doing? What are you saying, guys? How you feeling, Khem? A little bit scared for what's to come? Are you going to be all right? Going to cry today?
No, I'm all right now. I got the Jadon Sancho's very own, so I'm all right.
All right. We haven't got sponsorships on the pod, so please don't endorse any products, please.
Sorry, no Magnum, no Rustlers.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if we do, Rustler's going to be the first one. But yeah, you're in for it today, man. Let's get into it. No messing about. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. 3 defeats in a week. Your manager's chatting absolute breeze in the press conferences. You're doing the same in the group chat, defending your players. We'll go to you first, Khem, so you can get your waffle out the way before the rest of us start pamming you pause. What do you make of the 3 L's in a week? Come on. Get off mute and tell us what's the excuses.
No excuse. 3 difficult games. Well, 2 of them were difficult. I think the Galatasaray one was the worst one for me. Because they're actually shit. They have like old Gundogan
well done for swearing.
Running rings around rings around our midfield. Torreira. It was a soft pen, but I'm not even mad at it because watching the game, they couldn't string a pass together. There was some good chances that they had wasted as usual. The Palace one, we deserved to lose that match. To be honest, we all spoke about that. We got absolutely popped in the first half. Alisson probably injured himself in that match, not the flipping Galatasaray game. He was probably carrying an injury from all the judge he managed to do to keep it at 1-0. Let's be real. Like, that first half, somehow it wasn't 4, right? And then somehow we almost stole a point again, to be honest. And then Kirkes did the dumbest idea, clearing it. He could have just hoofed it up the pitch and time would have ran out. Instead, he decided to give them a long throw, which we obviously failed to deal with. Galatasaray spoke about that one, dog crap performance, and then the Chelsea game. Well, I'd already started my international break by then, so I was tuning in and out, to be honest. But obviously, it was a worldie, someone who had only prior to this season in 4 years scored 4 Premier League goals, decided to twat one in. You know, usually it's like leaving Draymond Green wide open. You know, you're gonna cover Steph, you're gonna cover Clay, you're gonna even cover Iggy. You'll leave Draymond and you live with it. You know, if he makes it, he makes it. You know, what's the phrase? Make someone else beat you. AO does his NFL updates. You know, if you're going against Rodgers, let's just stop him from throwing, force them to run. You know, take away their strengths, and that's what happened in that one. But somehow again, we almost stole a point. But what I didn't like was the end of the game. I think there were too many players forward because the winning goal for Chelsea, credit to them, but it was quite easy to break the lines, get down our right-hand side, their left channel, and a simple back posting that could have been dealt with. So it's just a lack of focus. But we won loads of matches by the same margins we lost them by. So swings and roundabouts. 3 difficult away games. You know, I'll judge us when we get a run of fixtures like Leeds and West Ham, and obviously we've got your bum team next. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and get tickets for that one. So if I'm at Anfield, then you might as well not tune in because you know how it goes. But I'm not going to crash out. I know you guys are expecting me to crash. And we've been fighting over the whole Van Dijk thing. My question was just, I think we were over-analysing the wrong goal. Because, like, I don't think it was a wild mistake to be, like, deeping it so much. Like, yes, he backed up a bit. And you could argue Kirkez was covering Gusto, but he wasn't goal side. And we've all been slandering Kirkez all season. So let's be real. If he steps up and he slides him in, do you really think Kirkez is going to deal with it? Don't lie to yourselves now. Let's be real. Ayo is turning into a potato, so he might have to reply to me in the chat instead.
Let me go, man. Let me go. I'm tired of this guy, bro.
But instead of focusing on a Robertson goal, which actually cost us the result, like we actually had a result in that match because the Caicedo goal was what, 20 minutes in? If that's like at the end of the game, then maybe we could talk about Verge not dealing with it. But it's still like so much football to be played. We should be analysing the other goal because that was not just Robertson made a clear error. He should have woken up. But the whole pattern of play, bombing so many people forward in the 95th minute, is just ridiculous. Same way when he was atting someone for pushing up and trying to counter the Palace one, instead of just dealing with it and just taking the point. Those are things that I'm kind of concerned with. And you're mentioning slot chat and Breeze, but I understand when he's talking about chances created because on previous pods I've said my biggest issue was the Newcastle game where we didn't create anything and the Burnley game we weren't creating much. And realistically, we've had phases in matches where we do okay in the first half and then seem to just, they like run out of, they don't take ADHD medication and just lose focus like crazy. And then suddenly they're not like able to just do anything for like a good 20-minute period in like every second half we play. So there's a lot of work to do, but I'm not like stressed over it because there's a lot of good players that they've added to the team. He needs to figure out patterns of play in and out of possession and in transition. It's not new information because we look like it throughout the whole of pre-season and into this season as well. McAllister's not being himself. I don't know what's up with him. Maybe he's getting slid into the DMs by Perez as well, for all we know. Maybe that's the start of his free transfer. Fuck knows, like, I don't know. But same with Konate. He's clearly on a Duolingo hot streak, let's be real. So it's a shame the Italian kid blew his ACL. So we'll see how it goes in the next run of games. There's no point getting too high when we win, getting too low when we lose. Just move on to the next one. But I know you want to talk about Virgil, but I don't understand why you guys are so obsessed with this. Okay, the memes are funny, but there's so many instances where he's in that position. Same when we lost the CL final to Madrid 2022. He's in a very similar position when he was trying to cover the lane, stay in position, and somehow maybe be in position to get a block sticking the right leg out. I don't actually know why. The memes are funny. They are hilarious, but I don't know why.
Sticking the cheek out, actually. It wasn't a leg.
But the thing is, it still went top bin.
It was more Nash than anything, to be honest.
Sometimes it's just great goal than poor defender. I think sometimes it's better offense than defense.
All right, you've got every single excuse you could think of out there. So before we go to Reece, because I feel like we got to give Chelsea props in this game as well. I think they deserve the dub. And they got it. So we'll get to Reece in a minute, but I know I was chomping at the bit. So I'm gonna hand it over to him, and then we'll move over to the rest of the panel to give you a bit of a roasting.
Yeah, thank you. Not even chomping at the bit. I just think it's a clear deviation of responsibility by trying to say it's a random worldie. Like, to allow a player to dribble that far untouched, which is about 5 yards when he picks the ball up, and to not put any pressure on him, and then to say that, that was the plan. I think that is just a clear, that's just a clear lie. And I think it's coping. I think it's definitely trying to cope, acting like it's not a big issue. But if any one of our team centre backs did that exact same thing, I'm sure Khem would be saying, wow, look at that poor defending by Gabriel, or look at that poor defending by Chalobah. And we expect poor defending from Delit and you guys over
respectful.
there. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. But I think overall, I just don't think I just watched that goal and to see it break down that way, and then for you to completely act like that's okay defending, I think that's just baffling. Like, he had a simple step up into position, like just to put, even you say it's a worldie, like at least act like you're trying to block it. Him backing off, showing no intent to get the ball. We're just asking for trouble. And to act like Caicedo doesn't hit bangers, I think that's also just, you can say he's only scored 4, but I'm pretty sure early in the season he's already scored. He scored an absolute power drive, I think, early in September already. And now, so you just don't take that risk. And if you are the best defender in the league, which I think he is, he obviously or has been for the last few years, it's just you just don't make those mistakes. And I think your lack of blame or lack of accountability that you've shown, and your dereliction of responsibility that you've also shown, and just I think that's been the most frustrating part. So yeah, it's not even Virgil that I feel bad for. I feel bad for you, Ken. I think you're just in denial, Ken, and that's what hurts me more than anything. Is your denial of what you saw and what we all saw. And it's good that Reece is here, because then Reece can also provide. Because I remember when you called Reece for help, and then Reece didn't help you, that brought me great joy as well in the group chat. So yes, so that was my piece.
No, I was just letting him know that he can't. Expecting goal of the month.
You called him for help.
It's only 20 yards out. It was a tap, easy.
You called him for help and support, and Reece came back with the exact same facts we tried to provide, and you refused to acknowledge it. So we appreciate that we're all aligned. Not many times Arsenal and Chelsea are on the same path, but I'm glad that we came to an agreement there, Reece. Exactly. Salute to you as well, brother. Salute to you.
Reece, do you reckon he'll get 10 goals this season?
Listen,
he's known for his goals.
First things first, yeah. I'm gonna get his highlight reel of the goals that he scores. Yeah, I'm gonna send them to you.
Thanks.
And then
it's a gift.
But all you're gonna see is long shots, bro.
All I'm gonna see is a gift.
All you're gonna see is long shot. I can't believe you called him Draymond as well. That is crazy.
He's known for his goals, right? 4 of them.
He's a
2 for Brighton, 2 for Chelsea prior to this year. Anyway. That was it.
Anyway.
He's never. Anyway, this is the first time he's gone beyond 2 goals in a season, by the way, in the Prem. Just saying.
Yeah, but
now teams can actually respect him for a shot, but before there was no reason to.
Nah, man. I've seen it firsthand of his goals. You don't anyway. Right.
They're memorable because they're rare. It's like Fabinho scored. I remember all 4 of them. They were worldies. Spaced out every year, once a year.
Yeah, go on, Reece.
No, go on.
No, I'm just going to say, like, regardless of whether he scores 4 or 5 or whatever, you still close the man down on the edge of the penalty area. Like, we're not talking about Richard Dunn or, I don't know, Titus Bramble or someone who literally never scores a goal. We're talking about a guy that has proven, like Io said, at least once this season, a couple of times last season in big games, that he can smash one in from that distance. And when you actually look where the goal goes in from, he's not hit one from 50 yards, right? Like, how can you let someone take a shot from that distance? It's close enough that he can fluke one in, let alone someone who's actually pretty good. Yeah,
you man are letting this guy get away with murder, bro. He's just flipping out excuses. He's talking about like,
whether he scores 2 or 3, you don't let someone approach your goal.
How long's he been in the league? He's been in the league for like
two,
3 seasons.
You can hear the fans saying shoot. Why do you think Chelsea fans are saying shoot? Why do you think they're saying shoot? They're not just saying it for the sake of saying.
You guys get drunk. It was 6 p.m. Okay, you guys are wasted at work. They will shout anything.
We know about Caicedo. You don't, and neither does Virgil apparently. That's a story for another.
You should, considering he rejected you as well. You should know him quite well.
We'll start placing some bets on Caicedo to score then. Maybe I'll chuck him in my fantasy team as well.
Placing bets to score outside the box.
If it was Enzo, I wouldn't even argue it because he's one who usually has actually packed on it.
Nah, but I'd say he's more outside than Enzo.
Huh?
But no, wait. Let's wind it back because you've done your little usual fucking trick. Because we've got 15 minutes. I can drop swear words now. Like Razor said, any professional footballer on the edge of the area is some sort of danger. If you've got greatest centre back of all time, this guy who's got aura and all this bullshit defending. And he's the one who's a spare man because you've talked rubbish already about, goal side and Kerkez. Kerkez has actually got a man to defend and a man to mark with Gusto doing the overlap. Virgil's a spare man in defender. It doesn't matter. He's the one on that side to defend that man. Virgil doesn't need to come over and hold his hand. He's the spare man in that. He's the one who needs to jump out. And this is the thing you keep getting twisted, is that no one's saying that goal is purely Virgil's fault, but we're saying that he could have prevented it. And he could have, saved McAllister, saved a couple of other people who made mistakes in that move. If he's this almighty defender, that's the greatest of all time. Surely jumping out and blocking a ball is quite a simple move for him, right? Why are you caping for him so hard when it's an easy solution? He just needs to jump and block the ball. It's not rocket science.
I guess going off form, Kerkez does need his handheld though, technically, because he wasn't goal side and he's been crap all year. So maybe, he probably.
Van Dijk's got previous of running away from players when they're approaching him with the ball. He's got previous. You can't say he hasn't.
Like what?
Well, you just named one earlier, Champions League final.
That was on the left-hand side channel because Robertson. I'm not even.
It's like he's scared of dribblers.
He was outside of the. He was out of position for that one. He was covering the left-back spot. So he was obviously backing up because Robbo wasn't there. Anyway, that was Trent back post anyway, just like Robertson back post, which actually cost us the game. You're analysing the wrong goal. That's why I was fighting back, bro. You're analysing the wrong goal in the whole game. I don't understand why Robertson's not getting cooked for this. I actually don't get it.
But I think it's because
you guys will be going off.
No, it's because Kirk. Well, you know why the difference is between those, isn't it? Unless you're being deliberately disingenuous. Like Kerkez is a new signing, is meant to be bolstering your squad. Van Dijk's meant to be the best in the league, if not the best of all time, according to the discourse that we have. And you, me, my flipping sweet old mother know that Robbo's washed. Like nobody is expecting miraculous things from Robbo, innit? Like, so this whole like, why are we not analyzing that goal? We could analyze that goal like a fullback that you guys didn't really want to be playing in big games this season, like a fullback that you basically look to replace, that may have even gone if the right offer had come in. We're not gonna what analysis is there to be done of that? Like it wasn't good defending. Nobody's saying it was good defending, but when we're talking about the Kerkez moments, when we're talking about the Van Dijk moments, it's because of the level that they're supposed to be on or the things that they're supposed to be doing. And I think like acting like being like, oh, why is everyone analyzing the wrong goal? It's a cop out. And do you know where it is? Like I think players of every team have bozo moments, and we talk about them. It doesn't matter, like from an Arsenal perspective, it don't matter how much we love Saliba and how great we think Saliba is. We will tell you Saliba is prone to a bozo moment. And I feel like if you were more honest, yeah, and you just said, this is Verge's, like he's an elite centre-back. He very rarely has them. Sometimes, to me, it looked like he got caught in two minds. Because at the end of the day, you're talking about covering Kerkez, covering Trent, covering Robbo. Like, football's a team game. And yeah, you cover your teammates. But at the end of the day, all 11 of us have a job to do, innit? Do you know what I'm saying, innit? And it's like, I've got a defensive assignment. I've got to do my job. And then if the pass gets past me, people are going to be like, what the fuck was Kerkez doing there, bruv? But that's not what happened. What happened
I think the fact that it was...
BD threw it back like he was at Magic City. And it was Pete.
The fact that no one's talking about the keeper shows just how good a goal it was. So, like I said many times,
what are you talking about?
It's just a good goal.
Why are you bringing the keeper into this as well? The keeper got a hand to it as well, but he couldn't stop it because it was an unreal shot. Watch the replay. You clearly haven't watched the replay. Yeah, but the whole point is, right, if Van Dijk jumped and did what you would expect most defenders to do in that scenario, right, 99% of defenders, you would expect them to jump, and he didn't block it, and it still flew in. None of us would say anything about Van Dijk in that moment. It would literally be he did the right thing, but he couldn't stop.
Against Palace, and they slid the guy in, and he scored in the Community Shield.
Yeah, but you're being an idiot now. I didn't say that. I said if the same thing happens, but Van Dijk jumps forward, i.e., he doesn't slide, rule pass, or do anything, he still blams it in from that position. It goes in. No one's going to say anything about Van Dijk. They're just going to say he tried to do the right thing, but my man blasted it in the top corner. What can you do? But at least he tried to block the shot. That's what I'm saying. If he slide rule passes it, then you pass the buck, and then it's Kirkers' fault. Van Dijk still did the right thing. But when he's twerking all the time and he's literally just trying to protect his no one dribbled by me stat that was only created for him, then of course we're going to say, what the fuck is he doing with you guys? That's what I said in the chat.
I think you've been desperate to attack him for something for 2 months. And you could have used another bozo moment, which actually came again against Palace when he failed to win the initial header before they actually got their goal.
Yeah, but this one's funnier. This one's funnier. He was twerking like Ice Spice. It's funny.
That's okay.
It's hilarious.
The memes are funny, but
it's hilarious.
I don't want to hurt your shoulders.
No, but also the one against Chelsea.
Bro, check the group chat. We still said something about him when he did that stuff on Crystal Palace. Like, check the group chat. People were still saying, what was Van Dijk doing? When Carragher and other people were criticising Konate for everything. If you look back in the chat, one of the few people that was constantly still saying Van Dijk's also not doing anything right now, there were bare of us in the chat still saying that. You just decided to go down the whole Konate thing because it's got that whole contract narrative and agenda around it, and you want to try and, blame him for everything and not your aura defender. But bro, he's not had a great season so far. That doesn't mean he's not a class defender or he's up there with some of the best defenders in Prem history, but he's not playing well and he's struggling right now. And you shouldn't be twerking instead of blocking a ball. Doesn't matter. And even more reason, if it's a guy who scored 4 goals, come on, man, it's light work. Just go and block the ball. Why are you letting him shoot?
I'm glad to know that I can overanalyze now. I'm glad to know because I didn't know that 25-yard worldies from someone who scored 4 goals in 4 years was a thing, and that's apparently a bozo moment. So I'll be on the case of all your favorite defenders now moving forward.
I look forward
even
to
the
it.
backups.
That's
okay. That's okay. As long as we stay consistent with it, that's fine.
I promise you. Man said even the backups. Mascara's not backing away from that shot.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Well, you should have jumped better against the Boslai's free kick, I guess.
Yeah. You should have. And do you know what we said when that happened? We were like, oh my days. Yeah. That was a wondrous strike, but were there better things? They did a whole segment on Sky Sports about whether David Raya could have saved that flipping worldie. Allow it, bro. Stop trying to duck the smoke. I'm so glad.
I don't even know why they did that.
I'm so glad you got your Maggie. I'm so glad you came to join us on this wonderful evening. But let's not focus on Khem too much, yeah? Because that was just one fraction of it. I feel like Reese's West London Blue, as they used to be called on Pez back in the day, they played well. Do you know what I mean? They played better than Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? Over 90 minutes. So
they played very well.
We can talk about Van Dijk, or we could talk about the entire Liverpool performance. Which would you prefer?
I think Maresca needed that win. I think Reece will obviously go on further, but I think Chelsea played really well. I think, do you know what? Credit to them, because what I find interesting, when my first reaction from that game, I think I actually responded to Reece saying, "Wait, you lost 2 more centre backs, and you still won." I thought more focus would be on our attack, to be honest, because there's a lot of money spent on that attack, and the 2 of the top goal scorers from last season were on the pitch against backup centre backs who got hurt, and they didn't really. I mean, Salah missed some sitters, but really and truly, Chelsea were there to be got at because they were vulnerable at the back. So that's my takeaway more from Ice Spice, Nicki Minaj, throw your back out, whatever you want to call it, at the back from 25 yards. Sorry, 20 yards. Jonty's back on. Or 19.5, whatever. That's my takeaway. Like, credit to Chelsea for holding it down. Title contenders for sure. But like with that's a concern for me. The fact that they were playing against backups to the backups and scored once, and it was kind of a bit of a scruffy goal as well. I'm not even going to claim the assist for Isak. I think it was a bad touch that fell to Gakpo, but we'll take it. So that's my thing. But Reese, you go on, man. You can glow. You glow. You have your time in the sun. Go on.
No, look, I will say it all, like, goal nonsense aside or whatever. It was a good performance from us. I feel like we competed well against Liverpool. And you say about your attack, but I just don't think we allowed you to attack at all in the first half. At least I don't think we allowed you to have any type of joy. I think we got a lot of joy in the midfield, particularly Caicedo, who was just picking up everything and scoring goals as well. But yeah, I hate it. Doesn't burn me to say it, kind of. But yeah, Garnacho as well. He looks decent.
Come on, bro.
Out wide. No, do you know what it is? I noticed he draws a lot of fouls as well. He got a lot of joy out of Conor Bradley. On the
it's not the first time.
Side. So yeah, I just thought every aspect of our game was good up until half time. Second half, Liverpool got the goal, and I did feel like they might get another one for the maybe next 10-15 minutes. But then after 80, it was all Chelsea again. So, and then, yeah, I think we deserved to take it. I think Liverpool, I'd say they had about a 20-minute spell where they could have taken another goal. But in all, I'm happy to see us competing. And obviously, the centre-backs that did come in, props to them. I think the goal, Gusto maybe got caught napping. But that touch from Isak sort of brought it down really well for Gakpo to take it. But yeah, I'm pleased with the overall performance, and just hopefully we could take a bit of confidence from that. And Achimpong and Badiashile might be the new centre back partnership, lads. That's my. I was calling for a centre back, but I might be wrong. I
need
wrong.
that for my FPL. Achimpong, come on, I'll take that.
Khem, I don't know where you're going if you've got Achimpong in your fantasy league. That's a story.
I've still got the transfer ban, innit?
Bro, he's like 3.5 million or something. It's just like whatever cash he's got left in the couch. That's why.
But yeah, and obviously props to Esteval. The kid's a problem. I feel like I see him live. Benfica. There was one moment where he took the ball from the edge of our area and just ran it, and the whole crowd was just on their feet, just clapping him. Like, so I feel like he's I'm expecting big things from him. But
how long before the Barca Real Madrid move?
Sorry.
Don't you know the Barca Real Madrid move?
Well, he's got a 10-year contract, mate. So we'll see. You know how we do. You know how we do. So, and even if like there comes a time where he does, it'll look good on the books, and because we're all about profit now, baby. So let's go.
No downside whatsoever.
Bro, you gotta give some credit to Lavia as well, man. When he came on the pitch, he slotted in that midfield, and I know Khem's upset again. That's another midfielder that rejected them for.
That guy only plays one game a year or 2 games a year, and it happens.
And when he does, it's so good though.
He's unreal.
Thank you, Nash. Thank you, Nash. I tell you, if we could keep him fit, that Caicedo Lavia pivot is devastating. But it's just, can we?
And then what? Push Enzo to the 10, or?
I'd say Enzo 10, Palmer out wide.
Push Enzo to the bench.
I've said this before. Sometimes you play.
I mean, I'm not. I think Enzo has his moments, but he's still got a lot to kind of maybe prove in terms of his contribution to the side. I do think we are more productive with Lavia and Caicedo in the team, but it's just how do you get them in the team, and Palmer and the wide players and so on. So yeah, so it's a nice problem for Maresca to have, I guess, going forward.
Yeah, man. I think you're right, man. I think you definitely deserve the win. I think Liverpool only had a spell, like you said, a little bit after the goal, innit? But I think the rest of the game was you guys looking to make something happen. So it pays to be brave and go for something. In terms of your attack, Khem, we're not going to talk about Wirtz again until he starts to get something on the board. I mean, I'm not going to do the childish 0010, 11, 12, 13, or however many it takes. He needs to get something on the board before we even talk about him again. Until then, genital verts won't be mentioned on here anymore.
Does getting something on the board include getting appearances on the board or getting starts on the board? Because he can't seem to get those either now.
No, that doesn't count. That's like the Amarim stat. More games and points. He needs to have some assists and goals. You know who might be called to the stage soon though is Isak, because that wasn't an assist on purpose. He tried to pull that down for himself for sure,
I agree,
and he mistimed it. And we talked about it in the group chat. You can't have more than one person not tracking back and defending, and he's looking like he's too cool to track back. And if you've got Mo Salah in the team, Isak's going to have to work, man. He's not going to be able to lounge around everywhere.
A couple of things I noticed in some of the games he's played is they're not finding him. There's times when he's been open, like even there was one where Salah could have squared it and he decided to cut in and blast it into the stand. So that's one to resolve, because he obviously needs to. I think he should have ramped up his fitness by now. Certainly after he plays a couple of games for Sweden, so that won't even be a relevant excuse anymore. I know he's not done team training for months now, but he's done it for a few weeks now. So whatever quote unquote stage of pre-season he was supposedly in while playing matches, he should be up to speed now, because he's still an athlete at the end of the day. It's not like it was a lockout like in the NBA or something where it's freaking, or COVID where you're sitting doing nothing all day. Like he was still training, even if it was solo. So I'm not gonna crash. We've lost 3 games. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's good to get the L's out now. Gives him a chance to, maybe if he has to make a big decision and revamp the formation, 1 or 2 players, their position, whatever. The only thing that is borderline crash out worthy for me is, I think in the second half we still somehow ended up with Szoboszlai at right back, and I'm getting sick of this. We have 2 right backs that are actually healthy. Can we just use them? Like, I'm sick of like seeing a midfielder playing right back. It's actually getting on my nerves. So that's the only one I would say. And also Gakpo definitely needs to hold bench, because like, as a defender, when you see Gakpo approaching you, you don't even need to look right. Just look left. Stick your leg out. Stick your back out. Stick your Van Dijk out. And freaking, you'll get a block. And then carry on. Or it will go into the stand, whatever. But like, he needs to run, because he's not using the fullbacks properly. There's no point signing Kerkez and Frimpong, who have speed, obviously, and they're there for the overlap. And I'm seeing this weird, I keep saying it, this weird woke Guardiola freak shit underlapping stuff. Like, I'm sick of it. Ray mentioned Pez, and I swear when we played Pez, our fullback stayed wide, okay? Their boots were covered in chalk, right? They stayed on the touchline. None of this weird crap going inside. I'm sick of it so much. There's no point signing speedy guys if you're going to not use them properly. So that's all. That's the only criticism I'd have with Slot in terms of the setup of the team right now. So that's up to him to, I don't know, study the film and actually figure that one out, which I think he will.
Are you not worried about Gravenberch? He seems to not want to be not play a 6 anymore. He seems to be roaming about. Perhaps that is also the reason why Van Dijk turned into Ice Spice as well.
Well, if we're looking at that, I hear what you're saying in terms of Grav, in terms of he's obviously more of a ball carrier than like a Zumbamendi, who will like link play and pass through the lines. That's evident. But we do need him to sit, because I think he's trying to do too much, because McAllister is, I don't know what's wrong with him right now, but he was our guy to do that. He was the glue guy between the defense through to the attacking midfielders or to the wide players. He was the one with the technical ability to do that, and he's just not been at the races at all. So that is a concern. If the guy needs surgery, then just get it, mate. Because I don't know what's up with you. Your kid's born now. I don't know what else is going on in your personal life, bro. Like, Nunez and Diaz are gone. The Chuckle Hermanos are not here no more, bro. Just FaceTime them every now and then. Do a podcast on a Wednesday night with them if you have to, if you miss them that much, bro. But can you please just do something on the pitch? Like, you're getting 20 minutes in and Caicedo's running past you and you actually can't even keep up with him. that's concerning, man. It's not even like it was last minute or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely work to be done, but it's not a shock. We've not performed very well. Apart from the Derby game, we've not actually had like a solid 60 minutes of good football. So, yeah, so it's not a bad position to be in. You know, second in the league, a point off the top, and apparently we're crap. Could be worse. You could be still minus goal difference.
Top half of the table, though. Anyway, let's chat about other teams now. Enough of talking about your shit team. Arsenal 2, West Ham 0. The table toppers. We got 3 Gunners in the building as well. It was a pretty routine win. I didn't watch the game live because the United game was gone at the same time, but I watched the extended highlights after, and you guys pretty much dominated. Saka scoring a penalty, and Martinelli as well scoring earlier in the first half. So Arsenal lads, let's go to you guys first. Jonty, you've just joined. Maybe you could jump in on this. What did you make of the game? And what did you make of Arteta? Went pretty bold with the lineup. He went Odegaard and Eze with Rice sitting. What did you make of the game?
No, I was. It was one of those games where I was just kind of waiting for us to score. And obviously with the lineup coming out, I was really happy with it, obviously, because number one, Io will finally shut up about, Arteta going a bit more attacking and playing Eze and so on and so forth. I wasn't super happy with Trossard starting because I think you all know my feelings on this guy. He can't pass a ball. Like, he can finish really well, but when it comes to passing, he absolutely stinks. I think the only pass he's got in his locker is like he pulls really far out wide, waits for Gyökeres, Martinelli, whoever it might be, to kind of make a run, and then he kind of curls one over. And that appears to be the only thing he's got in his locker. But if you try and get him to play a 5-yard pass, he puts it in Rose End. So that was the one part that I wasn't too happy with, just because I wanted to see Martinelli maybe start, or Eze go out wide and maybe Nwaneri start instead of Eze. I wasn't really feeling Trossard coming on or being a starter at all. But overall, I can't be too unhappy with the lineup. I thought outside of that, it was pretty much the perfect lineup. So I was happy with that. But when it came to the game, there was like a slightly disjointed look to it. And with Odegaard coming back, you obviously saw him get more of the ball. He was kind of playing in more of like an 8 role, and Eze was playing a bit further forward as well. So it wasn't that typical kind of Zubimendi and Rice pivot with one of them kind of marauding forward when they get a chance to. It seemed like Eze was kind of stuck in between the lines and was just trying to play there. So it was a bit weird to see it, and I think Eze and Odegaard will have to get used to playing together more. Obviously, when Odegaard now comes back from his injury, which looks like it's pretty bad because it's an MCL. But overall, yeah, it looked a bit disjointed for that first probably 35, 40 minutes, or at least until Odegaard essentially came off in like the 30th minute. And prayers up for him. I hope he's all right, because my man can't seem to catch a break. I saw after the game, Sky Sports now putting out this graphic about apparently he's the first player in history to come off 3 times within the first half. Not bearing in mind at all that he wasn't getting hooked in the first half. He was literally getting injured every single time. And now suddenly that's a graphic that needs to be posted out instead of just saying prayers up. These men are fucking shameless. But anyway, yeah, other than that, like I was just waiting for us to score, really. As they put one over the bar, kind of like a pretty close chance, but it was like a reactionary one. He wasn't, I don't think he was fully paying attention, and he kind of just put one straight over the bar. But after that kind of went over, I wasn't really sure what was going to go on, because, you know, we haven't got a very good record against West Ham. They seem to be kind of a bit of a bogey team. And despite how terrible they might have been under Potter, it felt like it could be one of those days. But then obviously, yeah, eventually we get our first goal. I think it was Rice actually in the end that got that goal, which I was really happy with. Rice definitely seems to be adding more to his game in terms of goals and assists and so on. I know he puts in a lot of the corners and crosses and so on that we get from the set piece again, ole type of goals. But it was nice to see him get on the score sheet. And then after that, it was kind of, I wasn't too worried about them really doing anything. They didn't seem to really challenge our goal. And despite my prediction last year about Fulkrug being good, he still fucking stinks. So I was not worried about him scoring at all. They literally, honestly, I didn't really see them having any chances. So honestly, after 1-0 up, I was just kind of waiting for us to score again. And at that point, I was just looking for our prediction to come through. And then that's when we get the penalty. I've seen people trying to question this penalty as if it's not clearly obvious and been a rule for ages now that if you continue to foul someone as they go into the box, it is a penalty. And now everyone's acting like that's not a penalty anymore, and apparently saying that Timber's going down easy and that it started outside the box, this, that, and the other, as if they haven't been watching football for the last 3 years. I have no idea where that's come from. It's just another one of them things again. But it was a blatant penalty. I think the fact that we're even questioning it is mental, especially after last week when we couldn't even get a fucking penalty with Nick Pope clearing man out. Like, the fact that we're now questioning Timber's penalty is madness. So that I don't want to hear about that. If anybody on this panel has anything to say about that not being a penalty, we can talk one-on-one because you're talking out your ass. But yeah, outside of that, obviously, yeah, Saka then grabs the ball. I'm waiting for him to give it to Gyökeres because I'm thinking, all right, I've got Gyökeres in my fantasy team. And he fucking takes it himself, which I'm not allowed because it's Saka. He's a star boy. I love him. 100 goals and assists. I think he scored on his 200th game, which is another random ass stat that's coming out from Sky Sports as well, which I've never seen before. I'm okay with it as long as he scores it because he has some iffy times with penalties. So yeah, overall, pretty routine victory. Very happy that I got the prediction right. And yeah, on to the next one, really. I don't know how much more there is to say about this. I just want to say one thing. I'm very disappointed that I missed the Van Dijk cooking. And if we get back onto it later on, I've got a couple of things locked and loaded. So just so you know.
Yeah, we can circle back. I feel like Khem got away with only a half an hour cooking. I reckon there's another 5-10 minutes left in us. But let's go to you, Razor. What did you make of the game? Did you feel like it was a comfy win?
Yeah, it felt very comfy. I mean, like you always kind of watch. I always kind of watch Arsenal a bit like eyebrow raised, like what are we doing here then? But yeah, like echoing what Jonty said in terms of being interested and encouraged maybe by Arteta being a bit more experimental with the midfield. I think it's something that some people maybe on this panel have been quite critical of. I even saw Ayo like kind of sit up a bit in his seat when Jonty said he wanted to see Eze out wide. Like Ayo was like, no, don't you dare, stop it. Do you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, all in all, I think overall I was quite pleased with the performance. I think that's the measure of how we are gonna like sort of be successful this season in terms of, are we able to make wins against teams that have sometimes given us a bit of trouble? Are we going to be able to make them look routine? Because it did feel quite routine, like Jonty said again. Like I wasn't really looking and expecting them to score. I don't think there was much of a threat there. But fair play to a man like Nuno, because I think he's got them looking a lot better than they were looking before. Like I was looking at that fixture. I think I did say on the pod though, I was like, I'm pretty sure I said I think Potter would be gone before that fixture. I think we all discussed it. We were like, they're not going to be on this kind of form against Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we got a win. I'm glad it was like pretty clear and decisive. 3-point collectors, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think we're still just working out the kinks. You know what I mean? Like I'm quite happy to see those pieces coming together. And I think there's a lot of like discourse around Arsenal where people are like trying to rush the pieces to come together. But as long as we're getting the results, it's not too much. It's not bothering me too much because I can see like the elements that are going to make up the compound. Do you know what I'm saying? And the only other thing I would say is that there's just been a lot of talk. Like, I don't know if you lot have seen, I'm not even going to say the name of the stupid channel, but like, see them flipping guys that are like, yeah, I'm not going to celebrate wins, like winning against West Ham at home, like, because like, I won a trophy. And it's just like, well, how do you think you get to a trophy? By winning games, like games against West Ham at home. And it's all just like nonsense and buying in too much to, like, I think banter from rival fans and stuff. And that's absolutely why I think when something like Tijana Van Dijk happens, you got to like flames these brothers and let them know are gone. Because yeah, you can't just enjoy like end of season and trophies and silverware stuff. Like it's one metric of success, but like the Prem is a 38-week season, do you know, 38 game week like season, do you know what I mean? So you gotta enjoy all the points. And I'm finding it enjoyable watching Arsenal get together. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna get it, and I think it's gonna be sick, especially in our midfield. But I'm seeing where we're going. I'm seeing where we're going. I'm liking it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and West Ham at home's been, like John said earlier, it's surprisingly been a bit of a bogey game for you guys. I think last year you lost to them at home. I think the season before you may have drawn, and like it's been tricky. It's not been straightforward 3 points and move. So I hear you, man. What are you saying about this? Obviously, the other two Arsenal lads have thrown a couple of strays at you around the formation and that. Were you happy with the attacking lineup? And also, most importantly, are you weirdly quite happy that you may see Waneri now that Odegaard's a bit injured?
First off, if you don't have haters, it means you ain't doing something right, as they say. So it's a shame that my haters are my fellow fans. But I agree with everything what the boy said. 100%. I was surprised to see the midfield. It did bring me. I did smile a bit when I saw the Eze, Rice, and Odegaard midfield. And obviously, it would be a bigger smile if it was Eze, Rice, and Waneri. But you can't have everything in this life. But it was good. I think it showed. I think that's exactly how you need to play against teams like that, against like West Ham, because you're gonna need a bit more creativity, a bit more fluidity. And yeah, they couldn't keep up with where Eze was dropping into the hole. And then Rice as well would kind of help out. And I think it just shows that Rice can just play that sole defensive midfield position by himself. I think it's good because I think usually Arteta would definitely try to play, like it would have been like Rice and Partey and then Odegaard, or it would have been Rice and Zubimendi and then Odegaard or Eze. And I think that's or Marino, as we've seen before, which actually just breaks my heart. But for at least now that he's seen this, I think that's going to give him confidence to maybe use that going forward. I think sadly we are going to see more, obviously with Odegaard's injury, as much as I'm not his biggest fan. I think that made Arteta more willing to be a bit more expressive. So now he's injured. I think we're going to definitely go back to Rice, Zubimendi, Marino midfield.
Brother is this close to celebrating our own player's injury, our captain's injury. He's this close. He's this close. You can see the smile creeping on. Bro, this is being recorded anyway. Say less.
Well, but I've got a question on one of them things, right? Because we actually looked better after Zubimendi came on.
I agree.
So going back to the original formation of Zubimendi and Rice, with one attacking player in front of them, looked better and more balanced than starting Eze and every other man that you want to start. Because if we started Waneri and Eze with Rice behind them, we'd still have the same problem that we had in the first 30 minutes.
Or maybe you don't play Odegaard.
But even if you started Waneri, he's an attacking midfielder, right? Like he's not fucking Zubimendi going to sit there and spray balls left, right, and centre. So where is the balance coming from?
We don't know yet. I don't know what it's going to look like in there. I wish
exactly. You don't fucking know, mate. Settle yourself down.
But I've seen what I've seen for the past year. But anyway, I'm not going to go off my track here. It wasn't an Odegaard slander session. But yeah, it was good. It was good for the team. I think obviously West Ham is always a difficult game for us. And yeah, I think the only kind of downside was Gyökeres not getting a goal. I think he definitely needs one. That would be good to see him get a goal. But I think it's definitely coming. I think there's positives. And yeah, as you said, usually West Ham's our bogey team. So I think beating West Ham, comfortable victory, didn't really look under threat. I think we've only conceded 2 goals this season, which I think is outrageous. So, is it 2 goals this season? I'm guessing so. 3 goals. 2 goals.
It's 3.
Khem's got the stats.
It's 1/3 of the number of goals that Liverpool have conceded.
There we
Just
go.
remember it like that.
There we go. So yeah, I think that part's always. I think that's a very refreshing thing to see how. Yeah, and I think that's the reason why I wanted to be more expressive, because I think we can clearly rely on our defenders to keep us in the game. So This is why I'm so anti playing this whole Rice, Zubimendi, Marino type of midfield. So I just want the best for our team. You guys call it hating. I say I think our team could be more. I don't think that makes me a bad person. But if you guys want to make me the bad guy, you can make me the bad guy. I don't mind taking it.
I enjoy that. You know, the little kind of shot he took at us about, you know, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. It's the exact same shit that Arteta says about him.
It's true.
Maybe we're more alike than I wanted to believe. Sometimes genius is overlooked. Geniuses can't see other geniuses, unfortunately. But no, yeah, no, good win.
Just let's move on. Let's move on.
How are you guys different, bro? You're top of the league, you're the favourites, you ain't letting a goal in Europe.
But like, how many times do you want me to explain like the profile of a midfielder? Like, you can only have so many clashing profiles in the midfield three. Jonty literally hit the nail on the head when we were talking about Zubimendi coming on. You've got Odegaard, who is more of an 8 or a 10, likes to carry the ball, likes to play the ball, likes to get the ball, like he likes to be the guy that's ticking it over. You've got Eza, who also likes to play like that. Like, this guy wants to introduce Ethan, who has a similar profile. When you're not playing like, what do you want me to say in it? Like, obviously, if you play...
What part of replacing Odegaard with Neri doesn't make sense to people?
No, but then you still... Wait, hold on. I think you're misunderstanding the difference in what we're saying. And I know why. I've seen this. I've actually had a realization. It was from the other day when we conceded against City. A man was complaining about us not playing and wearing instead of like Marino, and like we were playing Marino, Zubimendi and Rice, I think. And he was like, oh, look, we've conceded. And it's like, that midfield three should be struggling with creativity. They should be struggling with feeding Gyökeres. They shouldn't be struggling with like keeping the lines tight between them and the defense, because they're different profiles of midfielder. And you want to play two of a very similar profile. And I think what the eye test, what Mikel Arteta and most other Arsenal fans seem to think is that we are more stable when we play with two midfielders of that profile, innit? But obviously we have different perspectives on it. I personally think if you introduce Ethan in place of Odegaard in that game, we might get a bit bullied in midfield. Like a lot of these games you're talking about bringing Ethan into. Man wants to see Ethan get like punched up at St. James's Park or something, bro. Like I don't know what to say to this man. We're like Khem said, we're top of the league.
I get his point, his overall point, right? Because I've seen the points. I've seen the points that people are trying to make online, right? About when we play against worse teams in a low block, right? We need to play with more creativity or more attacking players so that we can try and break that down. I get that. I understand that, right? Wanting to play kind of two attacking 8s or like a 10 and then an attacking 8 like Eze and Odegaard or Eze and Nwaneri now together. I get the idea of trying to do that with only Rice behind them so that we can try and move forward and go and do stuff against these low blocks. I get that. That's totally fine. My point was, though, that even in that game against West Ham, who are not very good at this point in time, we struggled with that. And learning to play with such an attacking style of play after coming from such a controlling style of play, I don't think it's going to be as easy as you think it is, and that we're just going to go out and start slapping teams like we did against Leeds and this, that, and the other. So from my point of view, yes, experiment with it once we're 1-0 up, or if we're playing someone in the cup or whatever else. But I'm sorry, we can't afford to be doing this against teams that we're supposed to be beating, right? And from my point of view, Zubi, Rice, and let's say Odegaard, Eze, or Nwaneri in front of them is attacking enough. If you look at Rice this season, he's playing more attacking than he ever has before. He's getting on the score sheet. He's getting more assists. He's marauding forward a lot more. I don't think we need to be playing him by himself and then two players around him. I'm saying let him and Zubi play together. Let him be the one that attacks, and then have Eze, have Odegaard, have Nwaneri in front of them to do the threading in behind, to do this, that, and the other, to play the late kind of like box crashing balls into him, etc., etc. I just don't know why we need to be going with Rice, who in my opinion is not a 6, very clearly not a 6, right? Playing him as like the sitting or holding midfielder, and then having essentially two 10s in front of him. I get your beef with Marino, right? I don't want us to be playing 3 8s either. But bro, we can't be playing 2 10s and then Rice in behind them. Because as much as we all thought he might be, he's not Caicedo. He's not Toto Dial. He's not going to sit there and just clean up all day.
That's why the whole Rice Caicedo debate is disingenuous anyway. Because like Caicedo is that guy that you would love to have, like just what you just said, like sat in front of the defenders, protecting them, mopping it up. He can go forward, he can play balls, he can spray like short passes really well and effectively. But like in terms of the characterizing, defining characters and factors that you want him in your squad for, that's not what you necessarily think of with him. When you think of with Declan, it's progressing the ball, like with the ball at his feet, playing those long balls. Like he does a good job defensively, but I don't feel that means that we should commit him into being a 6, like that just sits in front of the defense and then has 2 attacking midfielders. Like I love Eze, yeah, and I think he's settled in really well for what we wanted him for in terms of purposes. Yeah, like I think that's a bit different between him and a lot of the way that our midfielders were playing before. Is I'm not seeing him kill himself to get involved in defending. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you're leaving Rice there to deal with something because we want to be more adventurous. But like, we need we talk about how good our defenders are. I don't know if I necessarily agree with your sentiment that we should be more adventurous. I can buy into, but like when it strays into reckless because our defenders are so good, it's like, why should we put our defense under undue pressure? Like, we're not talking about a game that we struggled to win. It was 2-0. We had like, I think it was like around 70% possession. We had around like near like 3 goals worth of XG. We had like 7 times as many shots as West Ham. Like, we dominated them in the game. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I don't think we need to necessarily play reckless football in order to achieve those results.
I agree. And also, to add to your point, have you seen what Timber and Calafiori are doing on the left and right hand sides, bruv? If we don't have some like Zubamendi and them man sat back, Calafiori is most of the time ahead of fucking Martinelli or whoever his man in front of him is, number 1. And number 2, Julian Timber's turned into fucking Denzel Dumfries or something. I don't know what's going on, but man's just marauding forward, getting himself in all kinds of positions. So I really agree. Man's winning penalties out here. And we can't afford to have 2 10s as well as them, man, because then we're going to essentially be playing with like a 2-4-5 or whatever at the front, man. It's madness.
And I think the reason we haven't seen Ethan in the way that a lot of Arsenal fans, not just making it about Lana, a lot of Arsenal fans want to see Ethan utilised, yeah, is because you need to play that midfield 3 complementing the back 4. And it's like, if you've got, let's say, Lewis Skelly and Ben White on, you know that like they're not gonna be doing as much marauding as the other 2. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. And I think, again, like I said, as we go through the season, I think Arteta is gonna like, I don't think he's experimenting looking for like a first 11. You've seen him on the news talking all this stuff about like, rather than starters and substitutes, finishers and beginners of games and shit like that. And I think he genuinely is going into his crazy man meet up with Joe Mazzulla in the off-season type arc where he genuinely feels like he's a mad scientist doing 100 different things, and this is part of it. And like, he doesn't have like this is my starting midfield 3. He's like, every single day we're gonna rock up and fucking deal with the task at hand. If I need to play Marino and piss off Ayo, then I'm gonna play Marino and piss off Ayo, as long as we get the 3 points. And you know what, when we didn't get the 3 points against Liverpool, the criticism, I felt like it was justified. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't argue with you.
And you've got a big squad now, right? So he's going to rotate and move things around. So I know you've got your agenda, but we'll skip your part, Khem. So Arsenal top of the table now. Let's go on to the last team we'll analyse for game week 7. Man United won 2-0 at home against Sunderland. So it's, I don't know. When I look back at the predictions, there weren't many people that predicted United to win. So I don't know if it was a shock or you guys were just trying to rattle. I know you did, Jonty. Well done. But not many of us, including Nash, the other United fan on this panel, predicted United to win. So we got the dub, clean sheet as well. Sen Lamens I'd say he looked pretty decent. There was one hairy moment where he may have got in trouble and the ref bailed him out for, I think, harshly saying that Traore dived. I don't really think he dived. But yeah, other than that, I heard there were chants saying, are you Schmeichel in disguise? Because he was coming to claim crosses and that. You can tell how starving we are for a semi-decent goalie. But yeah, 2-0, pretty routine as well. I think we were good good value for it. Sunderland didn't really have any chances. There was one right at the end, but it wasn't like a one-on-one or something. But I will go to you, Nash, because you haven't spoken, I feel like, for at least 45 of the last hour of chat. What did you make of the game?
Starting off the game, I saw that lineup and I wanted to throw myself into a wall. I saw your boy Mount at the start. I was like, okay, one of the 10s is out. Why not push Bruno up top and put Manu in there? But fair enough, Mount got 7 minutes into the game, so I can't really hate this time. But in terms of like patterns of play and football, very pedestrian. It was very comfortable win, but nothing showing any signs of progress. But you're right, we're starving for a goalkeeper. And basic claims of the ball and not fucking it up. That's what we were screaming and shouting for. That shows how badly we are feeling at the moment. But yeah, man, comfortable 3 points, but I'm not inspired whatsoever at this result. It's just going through the motions.
Yeah, bro. And you know what it is? A lot of people have analysed the way we played in that game, because obviously there's been a lot of chat about systems, and I know G-Nev and a bunch of other ex-United legends have been criticising Amram rightly about the system and his lack of flexibility. But I do think he did change it in this game. Not in a way that I love, because it was definitely Route 1 football. The keeper was literally long ball hoofing every single ball.
It was a lot more direct than it usually is.
Yeah. It was a lot of winning headers. Sesko, to be fair to him, he looked really decent, man. Yeah, he looks decent. And it's more of the stuff that I didn't know about him, because I feel like we talked about it on the pod before, and a lot of people misprofiled him before as saying he was a big man, hold up play. He's actually more of a technical. Yeah, but he's actually good at the hold up too, bro. Like he won a lot of his aerial battles.
You ain't getting the ball from the rest of your wingers.
Yeah, but he was good, man. Like I feel like he had a blend of the technical and grafting against the Sunderland centre backs. And overall, even though his goal was a bit of a tap in, I feel like he played pretty well. Also, Mason Mount was decent, man. Shout out Reece.
I can't hate
finally.
It, it's just a symptom of how bad we are. Like, what is the future for Mason Mount in this team? I don't see him as a starter, and as a backup, he's taking minutes from who I would think are more deserving players like Manu. So while I'm happy for him, I just don't see what the future for him here at the club is.
Wing back.
Yeah, I mean, about. Yeah. When we're chasing a game, he's playing left back. Yeah.
Oh, we've got feet.
But we can't argue, right? Like he's been absolute. He's either been shy or he's been injured. That's basically been his career at United in 3 years. And this little run that he's had this season is the first time he's actually looked like somewhat similar to the player he was at Chelsea. So I'm not mad at it, but yeah, I don't think we can rely on him. Like he'll come in for a game every now and again, put in a good performance. He did it a few times back end of last season, and he'll get injured. So you still have to bank on Cunha. You still have to bank on Mainu and other players that we have who are more durable and probably going to last a bit longer. But you can't hate his performance. I feel like he did pretty well. And I think he's mentioned it, or other people have mentioned it. He's kind of a teacher's pet player, right? Like every coach that has him loves him because he carries out what they ask for in terms of the tactics or whatever. And say what you like, we don't love Amram's tactics. They've been shite so far. But apparently he, again, carries out his tactics.
It is how he managed to last so long at Chelsea, doing this sort of nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, it's not flashy, is it? It's like simple stuff. Even his goal, I'm not going to lie, I think the keeper should have saved it. But Jonty will say I'm pretty harsh on goalies, but I feel like he should have saved it. It wasn't like in a corner or anything, but he took it early. But nah, man, I think in terms of the performance, it wasn't the greatest performance, but we definitely deserved to win. And for a team that we thought was pretty tricky, they're still ahead of us in the table. And a team that's done pretty well so far this season, to get a win at home.
Does this give you confidence for our next run of games, though? Have you seen what our next 6 games are? I was like, bro, we could be losing in the next 4 out of 6 games, man. So when I see this victory, I was like, what am I supposed to take from this? We didn't play.
You're supposed to take the 3 points, be happy, and be glad that you're on page 1, man.
Our coach is gone. These 3 points are just inevitable. I'm not trying to hear that, bro.
I actually did see one of the Man United fan channels make that point.
We got the 3 points. Shut up, man.
When you look at the form table over the last 5 games, right, as you do on most league tables, you guys are in the same form as Liverpool. So fucking be happy, mate.
You've won more matches in October than us.
We're in better form than Liverpool, apparently. Or
yeah, man.
Like, I saw some stat that were like no team has won more games than us in the last 5. Which is ridiculous because we've also lost 2. So I don't. Nice try.
No, you've got the exact same record. You've got the exact same record: 3 wins and 2 losses in the last 5 games. Be happy with that. This is more of the same shit that Man United that has got you in so much trouble in the past, Nash. Right, and I'm mainly aiming this at Nash because Antony was more positive. You man still think you deserve to be, or that you are rightful to be good. You lot are shit. Be happy with the 3 points. You beat a team that is not easy to beat, right? Sunderland, they've been doing well so far this season. You beat a good team at home. You got a goal out of your new ASSCO striker. You got a goal out of Mason Mount, who has fucking spaghetti ankles. Be happy. Take it, build on it for the next game, and get us a fucking result at Anfield, would you?
I knew that was going to be the end angle for him.
We're going to get panned at Anfield, bro. I just know it.
I don't know. We need to keep Amorim safe, so he might get a point or something.
Nah, don't try that.
We want the gym to stay positive.
I'm not falling for this 2 times in a row because I fell for it when we played City and they were in horrendous form, and look how that turned out. Everyone came on the next week and I got my ass handed to me, pause, because we got absolutely slapped. So I'm not.
Oh, bro. Bruno got to pivot at Anfield. We're going to get clapped.
I don't know, man. I'm the only hope is that, somehow we can muster something on the transition. But this is not the preview show anyway. So let's concentrate back on this game and the Ratcliffe chat, guys, because I know everyone's brought that up before we started the podding. He's come out and said that he's going to back Amorim for the next 3 years, or give him at least 3 years in the role. I'll go to the rival fans first. I know you guys got your opinions on that. I'm assuming you're all delighted to hear this news, yeah?
You spent a lot of money on him, man, like 10 million euros or something like that. That's Arteta's whole salary you spent on his release clause, man. You have to back him. You can't. How many more dinner ladies can you fire? He has to come out and say it.
All right, I'm in 2 minds on this, right? Half of it is where Khem is right now, and I want to take the piss out of you. But the other half is, I've made a big spiel on this show before about the fact that we shouldn't be happy to see managers get no time, because this is one of the worst things that's happened to football in probably the last 10, 15, 20 years, really, of just managers getting sacked over and over again really, really quickly, and just seeing crazy turnover, seeing people get no chance to actually implement anything. Yes, Ruben Amorim hasn't shown very much so far, so keep him in for as long as you can. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be comparing him to any like legendary managers, but there are legendary managers out there that took a while to get their first, get their feet under them. So from the point of view of, I came on here with smoke before about trying to get managers sacked too early before, I actually think it's relatively smart business as an owner of a club, unless that person is clearly shown they have no fucking idea what they're doing, they're completely out of their depth, this, that, and the other, which he has shown in spurts. Outside of that, I don't think there is a reason to sack someone so quickly when Man United have been fucking floundering for the last fucking 12 years. You need some continuity. You need some sort of plan. Maybe he's not the right guy to do it. I don't know, right? Maybe one of the other 10 managers you've had before could have been the right guy to do it. But at least you're changing some of the mistakes that you made in the past. So I'm going to keep the same energy and say, fuck it. You keep him for 3 years, see what you can do with it. And maybe in a year and a half's time, or whenever that 3 years is up and he gets sacked, there'll be a better manager for you to go after. And at least you'll have built some continuity in your team with the same characters, the same people playing together, instead of constantly changing the system, changing the players, blaming this person, blaming that person. There's a reason why all of the players that leave your team look fucking 10 times better, because you lot are an absolute shit show. And maybe 3 years of continuity will stop that.
Exactly. As eventually that big tactic board he's got, he'll find something, to get you to 0 goal difference. Like at some point, one of the 150 pages he's got in there of shit will get you back to 0 goal difference. So you've got to give him time. He's not got any grey in his hair. Still got a beard, still serving kebabs left, right, and centre.
I feel like this is 40% genuine.
The thing is though,
at most,
you fire managers at the worst
most.
time. So you might as well, if you're going to fire him, you might as well bin him at the end of the season, because you're just going to have a similar thing where you come in mid-season with a new manager who doesn't want half of the team, and then he's going to suck because the player's crap and they can't adapt to whatever system they want to play, and then they try and bin them off in the summer, but you can't bin everybody because of financial fair, well, whatever you guys do with financial fair play, God knows, but within those rules. And then you'll have the same. It's been the same thing as Jonty said for like 12 years now. It's been the same cycle of shit. You had Van Gaal bringing his boys. Sorry, no, Moyes bringing his boys. Didn't like them, Fellaini and them, man. You were stuck with them for another couple of years. Bin them off. Van Gaal brought in his weird philosophy from the World Cup, just subbing keepers for penalty shootouts and shit. You bought into that. Bin him off. You should have kept Jose. He was the only guy who kept it real and told you all the mistakes that were going on. But you were still puffing your chest out, thinking everything was fine with your 1980s gym and swimming pool and leaks and shit. You didn't want to hear him. Binned him off mid-season. You brought in a former player who got relegated with Cardiff, you know, thinking Man United were back because he was a bench boy for Fergie, came on, scored a tap-in because Bayern were thinking about the champagne they were going to drink. Congratulations. And then he didn't even listen to Ragnick. He was actually speaking as well. As a sporting director, he had Austria looking really nice when they were playing football. They were actually balling out under him, binned him off. And then next man, at Ten Hag, he actually won you some trophies. Instead of sacking him in the summer when you were clearly crap because you won the FA Cup, binned him during the season when you let him sign new players. You keep doing it, so you actually have to stick with Amram because you're just going to do the same thing where a player comes in with players he doesn't want. And that's actually not fair on the next manager, to be honest.
But if Southgate's available, definitely get him.
All right, before the rest of you jump in, we're definitely running back the Van Dijk chat. We're gonna scrap the European Prediction League stuff, and we're just gonna run back the Van Dijk stuff for another 10 minutes at the end of a pod. Well done, Khem. You've done that to yourself. You can't. All right, other lads.
Using topics to punish him.
No. We're running it. I was actually just gonna be like, Jonty, we may have to do it another day, but because of that load of shit, we're running it back in a bit. But all right, you guys have given me all the rubbish and the sensible. Jonty was a sensible, not really rubbish. That's mostly Khem. But come on, other lads, Nash, give me the real on this. What do you really think about this Ratcliffe chat?
Brother, I wanna heard the call. I was like, this man is clearly skunked. He's been taking some lace heroin or something, bro. He's talking shit. But then I realized, you know what, it's just an interview, PR. What else is he gonna say? He's gonna back him till he fires him at the end of December or November. Just corporate PR talk, man. What else is he going to say during an interview? But if he genuinely believes this, then he needs to be spinned off as well. We need new owners. I've lost all faith. I never had faith, but I've lost what little I had in him. It's time to go.
R.I.P. Claude and that. All right, Arsenal man, Reese, what are you saying? Because to be honest, I do kind of agree with Nash. Like, I get the sensible logic and everything like that, and it makes sense, but we've been dire forever, and as much as I want to like Amram,
and bro,
I don't know if there's
much
enough
as we
to like.
Pretend we're an elite club. Elite clubs don't give managers 3 years to be shit. Most elite clubs, 8 months, you're gone. If you show
you ain't elite anymore.
Some give 5 years.
You're not elite anymore.
Talking about sacking managers real quick, Reese.
You, bro. So why are you talking?
Let's hear from
Charity
Reese.
Shield, fuck you.
Oh, that's where we are now. We're calling Charity Shield big trophies now. Okay. Say hello.
Reese, come on, give us the real from a hiring and firing club. Come on.
Yeah, listen, I've been in a position where getting sacked every 6 months works for me, so I can't really complain. But that there was just a PR move, because listen, if you lot finish below bottom half of the table towards the end of the season, you ain't gonna. The fans will lose patience. So he's 3 years or not, he needs to start getting results and turning it around, because I don't think, as much as you want to give him 3 years in continuity, if it's not working, it's not working at the end of the day. So it sounds nice when you say it publicly, but it's all about what you see on the pitch that will determine whether he stays 3 years or 3 months or whatever. But it probably would make sense from a United perspective to maybe, if they were to sack him, maybe get rid of him at the end of the season. And yeah, like sort of Khem said, with this thing where you're bringing in other managers, players, it will make it difficult for that continuity. But if results don't turn, he can't stay. Like, it's Man United. I can't see them being another year and him kind of keeping his job with the frustration that sort of looms around the club.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Makes sense. Razor, what you saying, bro?
I understand that you man's perspectives are probably shaped a little bit more like by trauma than any, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I get it, but I think Jonty and Khem do have a point in the sense that it is kind of, if you get rid of him, I do think you will get rid of him if things stay bad and keep getting around the level that they're at. Like, if you're on track to have a similar kind of Prem season as the one that you had last season, I think you're done. I think he's done out here. Do you know what I'm saying? I do feel like there is some merit in terms of keeping him on because, yeah, you just haven't really let any identity like stick for so long, as the boys were saying. And it's like, now you're in a position where, whether good or bad, you've got an identity, you know what I'm saying? So do you want to like lean into that and kind of develop that and see where it's going to go? Or do you want to have like the reaction and it's like, okay, cool. You man are going to say like, oh, well, we need shit to change like now, expeditiously, yesterday, in fact. Do you know what I mean? But you're not going to be saying that if like you get a new manager in and then suddenly you're, yeah, where you were last season or worse off. I don't know like what the gamble is, but you need to like pick it. And I think it is clever for them to kind of go on in that way, just because like, what available manager would you like have? Like, who would you take at your club right now? I've been asking that like in the group chat at different points in time. Like, would you take this guy? Would you take that guy? And you lot are always like, be serious. If I'm Glasner, yeah, you gotta be buzzing, bro. I'm not leaving. If I'm Glasner, I'm not leaving European football to go and slum it out in leaky Old Trafford.
You're bugging, bro.
But I think
this is the chat we had. This is a chat we had before.
I did this before. It didn't work. They will still go to this disgusting club regardless because they want a paycheck.
No, wait, hold on. When are we talking about? At the end of the season? At the end of the season?
Yeah, no, even in January, bro.
They forced Amorim to come in early, bro, and he was fucking smashing it with Sporting, probably one of the most in-demand managers around, and they got him to leave early, even though he said he didn't want to. So I said this before, I put a fucking £50 bet on, which I still have not paid, that Amorim was not going to go to Man United, and he still fucking went. So that wasn't to you, by the way. It was to Antony. So don't be trying to jump on £50, you fucking prick.
I can't see Glasner leaving Palace during their first European season.
He's rejected new contracts. He's I don't know what this kind of
Glasner's not happy though. Glasner's not happy. I think at the end of the season.
He wanted bread.
Now you guys are being too logical. You're being too logical about it. Like, it doesn't make sense because he's in the comfy job. They love him there. He's just won the trophies in Europe. It'll be a massive risk. Our team's obviously stinking it up. Like, it logically doesn't make sense. But like John said, when it comes to luring a manager away from a situation that makes no sense, Liverpool won't know this, but we've still got Paul in our downtime, so we'll still be able to get a manager out or a star player out.
And all these managers have ego and ambition. Don't think exactly. They're the ones to change it.
Bro, we got Pogba with was it Europa League or whatever, and he was like the most sought after player. Like, it's going to happen. Bro, shut up. He cost 90 million from Juventus.
Spent 90 million on your own player, bro. That's like
okay. What happened to Trent?
That's like.
Can I interject with one question?
You celebrate his World Cup, bro. It's not even Man United winning the World Cup. It's France.
You're not allowed to talk about Pogba. You're not allowed to talk about Pogba.
Can I interject with one question for the Man United fans? I've got one question for the Man United fans, yeah? Out of all the managers that you've had since Fergie left, which one do you think has been most successful so far?
None of them, because they're not fat or Scottish.
You're not a Man United fan, please.
He's rattled. See, Pogba always rattles him. I don't understand why, man. Just respect Le Pioche, man. Yeah, Trent, of course. Yeah, that's all right. I think Mourinho probably. I would say probably Mourinho from the bunch. Yeah,
but he was toxic.
I'd say Mourinho.
I don't know what we're gonna do there.
He wasn't toxic.
Your whole club is toxic, bro. He fit right in. He was the perfect guy to lead.
Now, with hindsight, that's probably the only part that Khem said in his diatribe that was on point. Like, and we had to go digging for that because it was mostly shit. But basically, yeah, Mourinho was toxic at the end. But think about what he was dealing with. He was dealing with Woodward and the circus above him, which is not his fault. That none of those, he's playing Football Manager, buying players, right? So it's not Mourinho's fault for that incompetence above him. And then there were obviously issues within the playing staff because you saw it under other managers afterwards, right? I'm not going to go directly Pogba and Mourinho, but there were a bunch of other players like Mourinho wanted to get rid of Shaw. He wanted to get rid of a bunch of players that we actually all agree with in hindsight, but we decided to back the players and not the manager, and this is where we are now. So I don't know, man.
To be like, post United, Mourinho's continued to show he hasn't got it anymore. So that was eventually going to crash and burn at United either way.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say. I guess my point is you not have tried everything. When we talk about players that you bought goalkeepers, you bought centre-backs, you bought left-backs and right-backs, you bought midfielders, you bought strikers, you bought wingers. You've bought everything that you could buy. So you know it's not a buying problem anymore, right? You've sacked managers after 6 months, you sacked them after years, you sacked them after fucking 12 months, you sacked them after every point in time. I'm just trying to say to you, like, what else do you have left to do but to give fans time and trust and see what happens? Because you've tried everything else and it all went fucking tits up for you. So maybe just have a bit of patience and see where it goes before you start calling for a man's head. If you're in the fucking relegation spots or whatever else, then fine, cool. Just bin him off if you have to, because it's a question of your survival within the Premier League. But until he gets near them spots, which you are not currently in, fucking back him and see what you can do. You bought all these players for him. Your players are slowly but surely trying to learn whatever fucking formation he's trying to play and whatever system he's trying to play. Like, you've tried everything else. So to just repeat the same shit again, there's a quote in there from a famous scientist, yeah? Just doing the same shit again and again and again and expecting something different to happen. It ain't going to happen.
He's right. If he
Try something different, bruv.
Spot on. If you had today's attitude with Fergie, bruv, he'd be at flipping like Brentford right now. You'd have fired his ass time ago. Sometimes you just have to give him a moment.
All right, well, we're going to skip past that little interlude after John's segment. What's your opinion on it, bro? Because you've not said anything yet. We've heard from everyone else, including myself. What are you saying about it?
I hear it. I think, I don't rate him. I think it's crazy. To be fair, I would have sacked him after Grimsby. I think that alone was a sackable offence to have his head down for a penalty shootout. But I think if you can let him survive that, then I think what Ratcliffe said about Arteta makes sense. Like, I think you do need to give people time, but I just think his stubbornness is the only thing I don't like about him. Like, I'm more for you believing in the system. I don't mind believing in the system and how you want to play football, but to show no sense of like adaptability, and to just keep on persisting with something and it's not. And maybe it's working now, maybe it's starting to slowly take shape. But I just think that's the only problem. But I do agree with what you guys said about Glasner. I definitely think like that's the most likely hire. Like, I don't think, as much as Palace is a good story, I think managing United, and as Nash said as well, like, every manager thinks they can be the one to change it. So I'm sure in his head, like, I think I could definitely see Glasner there next year. And if Amarin doesn't, if you guys don't fix up, but I don't think he's got 3 years in him, because I don't think anybody has that much patience. And you fans have been through the ringer. But as an Arsenal fan, as I said, it brings me great joy seeing suffering for United. So I will never ever feel sorry for you guys as long as I live. And long may I live in this world. So long may you guys continue to suffer. Is the only thing I can hope.
I appreciate that you add that disclaimer every single time. I appreciate that you add it every single time. But no, I hear it. But you know what? I don't disagree. And I think a lot of United fans generally agree with the whole patient approach type thing. Not all, obviously, there's a lot of fans that got no patience, but a lot of the fans do. And I think the issue is, you normally need something to cling on to, right? And when you talk about other managers needing a bit of time, those other managers all gave you something to cling on to, right? And with Khem's chat about Sir Alex Ferguson, even though he struggled for the first 5 years, he also finished second, I think, in his first season or his second season. So that was something that I guess the fans back in them days could hold on to, that maybe the manager's gonna work out. With like modern examples, Khem, your favorite, Norbert, the Red Bull director, he got you guys to Europa League final, I think, in the first or second season. He got you to a bunch of finals. You didn't quite win anything in them first 4 years, but he was doing enough fist pumping and dancing around like a clown in front of the cop for you guys to love him. So
he finished 11th twice. And
all right, but he also finished second. He also finished second in one of them seasons.
That's the outlier. Yeah, the rest were shy.
Yeah, okay, but there's something. But I'm saying that's my point. Is not that they're consistent in that time. Is that you get a glimmer of something, right? And with Klopp, he was losing finals all over the. He was losing finals all over the place, right? But you still were happy with that. Amrim's done nothing. Amrim's done nothing.
You got to a Europa League final last year, bruv.
He's brought you up to Spurs now. You're progressive.
And lost to Spurs. I'm sorry. Europa League final, losing to Spurs negates the whole thing. You can't lose to Spurs in a final.
Why did you lose to Spurs in the final? Because Spurs is stubborn. I'm gonna play my principles manager, let go of all of his system, and wasn't stubborn for one day only. So they fucked you.
But also, I mean, even in that final, I don't think Spurs played amazing. But I'm not going to bring up that.
They were playing against Manchester United.
It was self-inflicted, yeah.
Let's be real about this. And the only thing that I'm confused a little bit about, is and maybe I'm wrong, like Jonty said about like the whole Glasner thing and how he felt before Amorim, is I get what you're saying about like managers looking at a situation and being like, oh, I can fix her. But like at the end of the day, if she is the woman sat in the corner of the bar, and there are several men that flinch when she turns her head, and there's a line of stories, and like the bartender's telling you, like, yo, that's that, Nelly Furtado rhythm, that's a man eater, like, don't want to go over there, like, and you go over there, it becomes a self-inflicted pain that you're bringing upon yourself. And I think at some point, like, you have to acknowledge that you might not be able to fix her. And I feel like if Glasner needs to be the next sacrifice to that, that's fine in it. But I do think we're going to reach a point where it's going to be like, nah, I'm just a man. I can't fix her. Like she's not fixable. She's insurmountable, and that's what Manchester United is looking at currently. And I think that's why, going back to the original question, that's why Ratcliffe has to come out and say these things, because she can't be out here going like, because you can't be in this very tenuous analogy, you can't be the best friend of the man eater being like, oh, she gonna kill you. She gonna kill you. You're fucking up the market, bro. Like, he has to say like, no, she's really sweet. Like, she's just misunderstood. She gives people a chance. That's what he's doing. It's PR, bro. It's a PR run. It's unhinged. When with 10, they effed it up from Ten Hag, innit? That they set a mad precedent in terms of not letting go when they should have let go, and now they're in this cycle where they almost have to hold on. But yeah, long may it continue.
Your analogy's missing. Your analogy's missing one thing though, because the girl in the corner of the bar who's a nutter is also a 10, and that's the reason why people will still go and get eaten.
She was a 10.
Pause.
A 10.
No, you can't say was.
She ain't been a 10 in a minute.
No.
She's a
no. She's still got it. Yeah, as Nash says, she's still got it. But yeah, that's the age-old problem, man. Let's see. Hey man, everyone's got L's on their history logs, right? Khem knows that. All right, but let's get out of this. Let's go back to the Van Dijk chat. Since you deserve it even more, you little. I'm gonna stop now because I've sworn too much on this pod. Jonts, go on. You missed it. Have your go, Van Dijk. Twerking.
Ridiculous.
Okay, wait. I got to make sure. Can you all hear me? Is my connection okay? Yeah.
No, log back out and come back in.
Cool. We're all good. All right. So I just want to understand. I want to understand why you think Van Dijk needs to be covering a fucking right back who's playing at centre back instead of going to the man who's known to bullet one into the top corner. And I apologize if this has been said. Why is it that a pimp named Slickback gets off scot with no blame at all. You 9 goals this season. He's supposed to be the best centre back of all time in this league. This, that, and the other. He's great captain. This, that, and the other. And yet my man doesn't understand. You can't let a man come within 20 yards of your box when he's known to bullet balls into the top corner. Pause, no pause, whatever you want to do on that one. Yeah. Explain to me how a man that is so good, so experienced, been one of the best players in this league for the last decade, doesn't understand what danger looks like. Because, sorry, you've got centre-backs that have literally just come into this league for Sunderland, for Burnley, for whoever else that can recognise and go out and block a shot. But your man doesn't know what's going on. He thinks he's got to look after Malo Gusto. You talk about people not scoring for a long time. When was the fucking last time Malo Gusto scored and you're trying to mock my man instead of going to the fucking ball? Explain that to me, please.
I heard most of that, but I just want to double check. Was I lagging or was he lagging? Am I lagging now?
No, you're not lagging. It was definitely Jonty was lagging a bit.
All right. Well, first of all, Kirkes has been in shit form since he left Bournemouth. He left his form on the South Coast. Gusto was goal side, and we already have history of that when Wharton or someone played a ball in. Van Dijk stepped up because the midfielders the press was broken, the line was broken, and it was a clear goal, and they made it 2-2, and then we ended up losing the game on pens. He steps up. Caicedo, it's already on his right foot. It's an easy slide through pass to a guy who is goal side, and it's a 1v1. The goal was a world.
He was only goal side. He was only goal side when Caicedo was 20 yards out. He let Malo Gusto get into that position, but he refused to go in and block.
You look at his goal.
He refused to go in and block Caicedo.
It's 1. The year before that is 1.
He had 15 yards. He had 15 yards and about 5 seconds to go and close a man down instead of letting Malo Gusto get into the position that he was in. And he let Malo Gusto do that because he let my man come straight into the box, essentially. You're telling me that it was a world. He shot from fucking 20 yards out.
So why didn't the guy close down Zubimendi, since he's known for his goals as well, isn't it? When he packed one in. And sometimes it's just a good goal, man. You can just move on from it.
You're telling me that one goal that Adam Wharton did, right? Apparently now he's scarred for life and he will never ever close a man down. Is that what you're saying? Because Adam Wharton played in one ball. Now from now on, Van Dijk can only twerk. He can't block.
It was the easy pass. All right. You have to take you have to go with what's more of like a higher risk situation, which would be in the easy through ball. Like I said in the chat straight away, if that was Palmer...
The through ball wasn't available until he was within 20 yards of the box. There was at least 15 yards or 10 yards at the beginning that he could have stepped up and gone and got the ball. He's such a good one-on-one defender, right? He's such a good one-on-one defender. He's never got... No one ever gets past him, right? And yet you're so afraid of a DM.
We don't see many...
You're so afraid of a DM.
I wonder why we don't see many long-range goals nowadays. It's probably because they're covering the channels and most of the shots don't go in. They go wide, they get saved, they get blocked more often than not. It was just a great goal.
Yeah, but so just because people don't generally score long shots anymore, we can all just, defend on the goal line from now on, and we never have to close a man down. We can just bend over, put our asses out like we just lost the game of fucking World Cup or whatever. And now that's all we've got to do as defenders. There's no expectation to be better than that, no?
You're moving like he ran into the 6-yard box. He was literally on the...
But he fucking may as well have. He was inside his own area by the time where Caicedo got the ball from fucking 40 yards out, and he managed to get within 20 yards, and Van Dijk didn't even get within 3 yards of blocking it. Even when Caicedo shot, he was fucking 5 yards away. My man was closer to the goal than Mamadashvili, bro. Marmaduke was further out or closer to Caicedo than Van Dijk was.
Outrageous. I can't believe this guy. I happen to repeat myself.
You know what? You deserved it. You deserved it.
For the best centre back of all time, brother. Have some smoke for the best centre back of all time. You want to talk about Vidic? You want to talk about Ferdinand? You want to talk about Terry? Fucking raise your expectations and raise your standards, bro.
You didn't name any Arsenal players in that. That's a shame.
Exactly. And yet Tony Adams knew how to fucking block, mate. Sol Campbell knew how to block. They weren't fucking bending over and acting like Ice Spice and Latto.
Tony who? Mate, I've seen Sol Campbell get, I was going to say turn inside out, but pause. You didn't even name him when the time came, man. You said United players in the Chelsea one. They can be in the conversation.
Bro, Van Dijk needs to worry about his career after football. He's going to go and join Brazzers for a 10-video contract.
And this is why we have the disclaimer.
Yeah, that is why we have the disclaimer. There's a couple of reasons. This pod was unhinged, but you brought on yourself, Khem. You can't blame anyone but yourself. But let's wrap it up. Before we do, though, let's quickly go through the prediction league to update on last week's results. So Io is still top of the table, 28 points, 5 correct scores. Khem is now second. He's also got 28 points, 4 correct scores. Razor's third, 27 points, 4 correct scores. Jonty is fourth, 25 points, 3 correct scores. Reese is up to fifth, 24 points, 4 correct scores. I'm in sixth with 22, 3 correct scores. And Nash, you're still bottom of the league, 16 points, 1 correct score. But obviously you missed a week. So he's gonna be.
How is Moose not on 20 points? Yeah,
because I've got points stolen from me, bro.
No. We didn't do the deduction.
No.
Don't lie. We didn't do the deduction.
Your phone in the back of a taxi. That was you.
Loser, bro. You're too much, bro. That's on 16 points. That's crazy, man.
Had a laptop.
Crazy.
You could have joined us. You decided not to.
Crazy, man.
Bro, you need a phone number to log into your WhatsApp, bro. I'm not trying to hear that.
That's not even true.
It is true. Because I tried to do WhatsApp.
All right.
It is because you need to log into WhatsApp online with the phone number, bro. I tried. Don't question me.
Are you telling
You've
me
been given.
have foreseen a reason to log into WhatsApp on your computer before?
No, I've never needed to use it on my computer.
All right, you got a blie though, Nash, because we were going to deduct you points, but we didn't. You just lost 1 week worth. No, we didn't. I swear to God, you just didn't get 1 week's worth of results.
You should add
That's what's got you behind.
Right.
For what? For
No. We should take 5 off you, to be honest. For
suffering, bro.
But yeah,
it's
all right.
self-inflicted.
Now you've got pain and suffering, so it's fine. You'll work through it, bro. 16 points. Yeah, it's a long season, so who knows? You can still climb the table, but yeah, that's what the prediction league looks like. Next week we'll be back. We've obviously got Liverpool United to preview. I'm assuming Khem's going to find his mic and his webcam for that one, so I expect to see you there. And then yeah, we've got obviously Arsenal, Chelsea fixtures as well to go through. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.